Lights, camera, action. Join the stream team with Strick and Brant and be a part of the Stream Network. Our goal is really simple. We're here to help you succeed.
We live? Yeah. Strick City. Woo! Strick City. All over the world. Strick City, man, we live. Yo, Strick City on the ride. Yo, look like surprise. Yo, taking your city like we live. Yo, man, we live. Yo, taking your city like surprise. Yo, on the ride. Yo, Strick City coming live. Yo.
I don't know what it is about that music, but it makes me want to dance. Hey, it's your boy Strick, and we are live. You know what I'm saying? I love doing this, man. Another Thursday night, Strick City Live. I'm here, you here. I've shared this. Why don't you share this with me and everybody that is on your friends list so they know that you're watching and we all can watch together. If you're on YouTube, I need you to hit the like button and also the subscribe button. Why not know every time Strick City goes live? I promise you I'm only going to give you like good content. We're going to be talking to people that will inspire you. Did I say that right? Inspire? I said inspire, but I meant to say inspire, like one word with like 2 syllables, but it just didn't come out right. That being said, share this, like this, hit the bell for notifications, and of course, again, you'll be told every time I go live. We have tons of stuff that's going on, but I really want to get down into my guests, all right? I've had guests that are doing a little bit of everything all around the city of Birmingham, Alabama. Another young lady that's making an impact in the city, and she's doing it in multiple ways, and I absolutely love her story. I want to share her with you today. None other than Stephanie Matt, CEO of Simply Put. I'm going to bring her to the stage right now. Stephanie, how are you doing?
Strick, I am doing absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with me tonight. I want to turn this up just to be sure people can hear me clearly. So, Stephanie, now I've known you for a while. Of course, we go to the same church. Big shouts out to New Rising Star Church and our leader, Dr. Thomas Beavers. Stephanie works with me in the media department, and she does an amazing job of keeping me on task and making sure people know what's going on at our church. That being said, you also have this incredible company that you started. Can you tell me about how you started with your company, Simply Put?
Yes, absolutely. But before I get started with that, I first have to say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being you and what you're doing in our community, in and throughout of Birmingham. It's people like you that keep us encouraged and just keep the city moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
So to talk about Simply Put a little bit, oddly enough, Simply Put, a lot of people don't know this. It actually started in 2011 as a stationery company. And it was literally just a business that I started because the world told me I was supposed to have a business. And the world said, you're supposed to have multiple streams of income. And the world said, you're supposed to be an entrepreneur. So I felt like I needed to have a business. And I ended up creating a business of something that I felt like was fun to do. And creating stationery and personalized gifts was what I did. So if you wanted a tote bag with your initials on it, I had it. If you needed invitations for your next party, I did that. And it was just, one thing after another. And so it evolved. The original name of the company is actually Simply Put Stationery and More. And because it was something that I tell business owners all the time, if you are an entrepreneur and you're in it just for the business or just to make money, it's probably not the right thing or the right move for you, because as entrepreneurs, we are here to serve people. And when Simply Put was originally created as a stationery company, I wasn't necessarily serving people. I had it because it was a business. So fast forward a couple of years later, 2019, I went through a lot of things, like with my parents being ill. My mom had passed away, and I was just in a crazy space. And I just remember I leaned on this scripture, Philippians 4:6, with everything I had. And I just translated it into Stephanie's words as, no worries, I got you. Okay. And I had to keep just telling myself that. And so I ended up purchasing a Cricut machine. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically.
No clue.
I figured you were. I didn't take you as a crafter, so let me educate you. So it is actually a crafting machine that cuts vinyl. A lot of people use it. You cut the vinyl and you pretty much iron it on your t-shirt, or you iron it on just whatever. You make all kind of crafts with it. And so I purchased the Cricut, and I made myself a t-shirt. They said, no worries, I got you, Philippians 4:6. And people started asking me about the shirt, and I'm like, oh, I'll just make you one. So I was making a couple of shirts, and it just evolved. And I was sitting in my office one day at work, and like owning your own t-shirt business like popped up literally from nowhere, just on my Facebook timeline. One thing after another. Next thing I know, I have a website. I have a line of t-shirts with designs on them.
Wow.
All of these things are happening. And I said, okay, God, what am I supposed to do with this now? Because that was totally unexpected.
Hold on one second, Stephanie. I want to do this while you're on this line. I got to shout out my beloved Ink girls, Shantae and Shantavia. They are like huge fans of the show, and I absolutely love what they have going on as well, because they have a business very similar to yours, and I want to be sure I shouted them out and to make sure they are watching. So I'm looking for you girls. Now you actually started, you said that you saw online where you can have this t-shirt business. You had to have it, and now you're at this stage. Keep going with what you got.
Yeah, so like all these like messages about starting your own t-shirt company was popping up, and that was not my intention whatsoever. But the messages kept popping up. I did a little research, and then like I was saying, before I knew it, I had put a website together. I had designs, I had t-shirts, I had a vendor, and I'm like, okay, God, you laid all this in my lap. What am I supposed to do with it now?
Right.
And a lot of things come to me in my sleep. Like he speaks to me while I'm sleeping, and it just drops in my spirit. And I had just said, oh, I'll just launch my website on August 1st. It was the first day of the next month. It sounded right. And in my sleep, he's like, nah, it's going to be on the 8th. And I'm like, okay. So I wrote down the number 8, like in the dark, scribbled it. I looked it up the next morning, and it stood for new beginning. Wow. And so August 8th, the 8th day of the 8th year of the month, on the 8th day was when I launched Simply Put. And everything about it
What year was that? What year was that?
It was 2019. It wasn't as perfect to be 2018. That would have been like super perfect. But yeah, so that was 2019. So we go from 2011 to 2019. I launched it on August 8th. And everything, like I said, was of God, from the colors. Like every color symbolized something from a spiritual aspect. Every saying on the T is faith-based. It's just a translation of how I express the word in my own way. And that is why the company is called Simply Put, because a lot of times we have this Bible in front of us, especially the King James Version. And I'm a message kind of girl. Like,
okay, Message Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Message Bible. So like, I really understand what I'm reading. And so that's how Simply Put came about. And that's what the name means. It's just Simply Put, and we just keep it plain.
So let me ask you this question. You kind of said it, but I want to dive down into this multiple stream of income. Like, we've listened to people talk all the time based on where you are now in your business and more. Do you subscribe to that line of thought? Like, would you continue to tell people that they need to have multiple streams of income?
So the short answer is yes, and then I have a long answer.
Okay.
So
you said yes, so now I get the long answer.
Okay, so the long answer is this, and it's interesting that you asked me, because honestly, that's something that I'm struggling with right now. Like, I've known for some time that Simply Put is more than t-shirts, because it started as t-shirts. It started as like direction from God, but it just evolved into a message. It evolved into a ministry. And so I'm in a space right now where I felt like I have got to keep going with this company because it's my company, it's my business, it's my multiple streams of income. And I just had to take a step back here recently on Facebook. And I just made a post and I said, I need to take a break because God is trying to tell me something right now that's so color purplish. But
Hey,
there's something he is trying to tell me. But
do you need me to stop and just sing that part for you?
not at
I mean,
all.
cause I could do that.
It's okay. Maybe
Okay.
later.
Okay. Maybe
Maybe
later. So
maybe back when we return back to church, we can talk
I
to
can
Pastor
sing
Beats about
about that. Yeah, I already know what he's gonna say. That being said, like you're at this pivotal part in your business where you feel like God is trying to tell you something. What do you really feel about where you are?
So what I feel like where I am right now is I know I said the short answer was to have multiple streams of income because the short answer is yes. But where I feel right now is God is a provider.
Come
I
on
have a
now.
full-time job and I have not missed a beat with one source of income. So one of the reasons that I was reluctant in stepping back to take a break was engagement, my followers, missed sales. And then I had to go back to the original message of no worries, I got you.
Right.
So, why would I even be hesitant? So for me, it's not even about pursuing Simply Put in the sense of a multiple stream of income, but really going after the business or the message that God wants me to use through Simply Put.
So let me ask you this question. Now, I say we work together, so I guess I know you a little better than most people do. During this time, like during the pandemic, you're growing your business, you're actually working on Simply Put, like doing a great job of making sure that you're out there, that you're visible with social media and everything. You're rocking and rolling, but you also have a focus on your 9 to 5 job, and there's a testimony in that as well, as far as this discussion about have multiple streams of income, because sometimes if you focus at being good at what you do from 9 to 5, there may be more of opportunity there as well.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that happened at my job that Strick is referring to, so we do talk. We talk about business, we talk about life, we talk about God, and God showed up in a big way at work in regards to my salary, and it was unexpected, and that's a whole nother episode to talk about like that whole testimony and how
Gotcha.
it worked out based off literally going into my prayer room or my war room and praying about it for I had prayed about it 3 weeks prior and it happened within 3 weeks. But my prayer was, God, if you can make this happen in the next 90 days. And he's like, I can do you one better. How about 21?
Wow.
And so like that's a whole separate story or a whole another episode. But the point in all of that is what he provides, he may provide it in your career, he may provide it in another business or in multiple ways. So to say you have to have multiple streams of income is a worldly thought. It's a good thought and it feels good and it feels comfortable in our flesh. But at the end of the day, we just have to trust that God has us with whatever resource he chooses to send it to us from.
And I've said it before, just giving God more opportunities to bless you, but God doesn't need any more opportunities to bless you. He can bless you any way he wants to.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that can come out of one stream of income. More importantly, what he's really trying to do, I feel like this is my message to people. He really wants the one thing that you can't get back that's more precious than anything else that you can give. He wants your time. He wants your
Yes.
time. That's the one thing that we have that we can't get back. Now, that
True.
is a prayer of ours. God restore the time. Like we could pray that, but it's on him to give us more time because, I can get more money. I can get more material things, but I can't get more time. And God wants that from us. And a lot of times, we could be spending so much of our time going after multiple streams of income. I got to get this off the ground. I got to do this. I got to do that. When sometimes he may be asking for you to be with him. so he could do some special things through you. Everybody, I just feel like, Stephanie, that's one of the things that people need to know more of. That God, his what he really wants to do is to work through you, and sometimes he needs to spend time with you so that you can learn more about him and he could trust you more, so then he could use you as a conduit to get to other people. That being said, how do you feel like what you're doing right now is getting to other people?
So my message in regards to Simply Put and what I really like to convey is just messages of encouragement, specifically for women and Christian women that are just really, really trying hard to get it right. But we have so much weight on our shoulders. And even sometimes as women, we carry weight that we voluntarily carry, right? Like nobody asked us to do certain things. And we're so quick to, oh, I got it. I can do it. I can help you. And so my message, which I actually have on a t-shirt, is we need to normalize God knows that I'm trying versus pretending like we have it all together.
Oh,
because we live in this world.
No. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. You can't say like a whole phrase and keep going. Like, I need to get to the meat of that. You know what I'm saying? So you said it's on a t-shirt. Say it so I can understand, like real slow.
Yes. So the message is we need to normalize. So we need to make it normal that God knows that I'm trying.
Okay.
Versus pretending like we have it all together.
I get that.
So we're really quick to be like, oh, I'm all prim and proper. My kids are perfect. They got straight A's. My house is clean. But it's okay to say, I'm kind of missing the mark on something, but God knows I'm trying. He knows my heart.
But that's being real, don't you think? I think it's important to be real and to be like I feel like God set us up like with the Bible. Like every man you can point out, if you pull somebody out of the Bible, there's some flaw that he has. Like we can't put anybody up on a pedestal because we can also point at the flaws that they have, and we all have flaws.
But guess what? They didn't have Facebook back then. And they didn't have Instagram. And they didn't have Instagram models. And they didn't have, all these things because comparison kills. Okay. So we spend so much time watching what others are doing. I'm single. I have no kids. If I spent my time looking at married people and people walking around with kids, I'm 41. I'm supposed to be like depressed, right? According to the world, I should be married by now with 2 kids. And so you really have to be authentic and, love yourself and know that what God has for you is for you. But sometimes it's hard because we live in this world that just makes you feel like you need to have this Pinterest-worthy lifestyle. I hope you know what Pinterest is.
I know what Pinterest is.
Okay.
I'm not on Pinterest, but they all say that I need to be based on some other stuff that I'm doing, like the streaming stuff that I'm doing. That being said, I want to stay right here, Stephanie. Because there are people that are watching this that are still caught up in the comparison and are affected emotionally and mentally because they are comparing themselves to what they see online. And I can tell you this right now, like the picture, one of the things that I do is that I stream and I teach streaming. So if you look at what I'm doing and you say, how can I get that? Or I want to get that. And then you take, a $100 camera and try to duplicate what I'm doing. There's no way you could do it because you don't have a clue about the whole setup I got going on in here. You know what I'm saying? Like we see that all the time. Like you mentioned, Instagram models, you don't have a clue what's on the other side of that camera or how a photo has been touched up before you get it. To compare yourself to something that you're seeing when what you're seeing is already artificially changed and manipulated, and I got different filters on my lights here to make me look a particular way. I got lights off. I got lights behind me. There's no way you could duplicate this without knowing all that I am doing to make that happen. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Yep.
So I'm echoing what you're saying with people that are look at a certain thing or a particular time in their life and say that I should be here when God has on your own trajectory of life. God has it in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely. And I get that a lot too, just in regards to Simply Put. So, as a business owner, especially when you're passionate about what you're doing, you've done the research, you've done the labor, you made the mistakes. And then people will come behind and say, hey, tell me how you did that. They want to know exactly what you did, what was the step that you took. But everybody's business, going back to, if you are a business owner, you're here to serve people. So your business should serve a purpose. And that's why it is tailor-made for you as the entrepreneur. So just coming behind somebody and say, tell me exactly how you do that. Or if you just try to duplicate what somebody else has done, it's not going to quite work out. Because to Strick's point, you don't know everything that went behind it. All you see is what you have on social media or the end product, but it's a lot of work that goes into that.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that goes into it. And then there's a lot of work that goes into you being the person that you are. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a testimony. Everybody is tried and tested over time. And what you see in this particular moment is just what it is. So let's go back to the Instagram models. Listen, like, you may see the photo, but you don't know how much time they put in the gym. You don't know what doctor they may have went to suck something out, take it from this side and put it on the other side. You just really never know. You never know how much makeup they may have on. Those things, and sometimes, let's just go outside of the unnatural stuff. People do put in or have put in a lot of work to be where they are. Mm-hmm. So unless you're willing to walk in their shoes and do the work that they've done, sometimes, again, it'll be very hard to duplicate that. Now, I believe in putting in work to be your best you. So can you tell us right now how you in your past have put yourself to where you had to do the real work in your life to be where you are now?
Yeah, so I think it's just in my personal life, my professional life, and it's just really about investing in Stephanie, whatever that looks like. So I would have to say, like, I have been extremely blessed to have amazing role models in my life. So I never really struggled with feeling like I needed to be more than what I was at the time, if that makes sense. So I'm super thankful that was something I never struggled with. But I also have to, at times, reel myself back in. So we can even talk about Simply Put, for example. At one point, I wanted it to be faster than what it was, right? But it wasn't meant for it to be at that speed at that moment. But it's really about investing in me, staying true to who I am, and just always connecting back to my why. So anything that I do, I always ask myself, why? And it can't be superficial. It has to be like a real reason, not just because somebody said I'm supposed to, but really just staying connected to my why. And once you focus on that, everything else will just tend to fall into place.
That's good. That's good. I like that, Stephanie, because our whys really should fuel us. It really should fuel us. It should really get us going. We talked about your business, and I want to say this really, really quick. Not only in your business, but now you're actually being sought after. Like, people are contacting you saying, hey, how can I get you to speak to my group? How is that going for you?
So it is, I don't know how it's going. I'll be honest with you. So this one thing, if you follow me or if you've seen me on social media, one thing you know is I'm almost super transparent, not super transparent, but I'm transparent enough. And so that is one of the things that I'm struggling with right now, is in knowing that Simply Put is more than t-shirts, and that there is truly a message behind this brand. And I would even go as far as to call it a ministry, because I feel like I'm a resource to women, and that the message is so strong to help women and to encourage women. But with that comes me having to be in front. And I'm the person that likes to be behind the scenes. I like to support, just like you mentioned at the top of the show, I help you with the media ministry. Although I do the announcements, but when you think about media, everything's behind the scenes. We're clicking buttons to make sure that the people up front look good. Right. So honestly, that is something that I am personally struggling with right now. People reach out to me about, speaking or, interviews and all those sorts of things. And, you know, even a step further, just in people inboxing me and asking me for prayer or getting my opinion on things. And salute to all the pastors out there, because I personally, full transparency, that's pressure, right?
Gotcha.
When somebody's coming to you and saying, hey, will you pray for me for this? And I gladly will pray for anybody, and I commend anyone that recognizes they need prayer or they're soliciting prayer.
Right.
But it feels like, God, you sure you got this Stephanie Matt, like this the girl? So that's where I am right now, you know, and I'm just waiting to hear clearly what it is that God wants me to do through Simply Put, or even if it's not through Simply Put.
So if God is entrusting you with people's prayers, if God is entrusting you with an opportunity to speak and encourage people, if God is entrusting you with your testimony to help somebody else, the problem is, Stephanie, being unsure. I put it to you like this: if you're willing to take yourself out of the equation and say, okay, God, I'll say what you want me to say, I'll do what you want me to do, I guarantee you the whole thing would shift for you in your mind. Because if you're still holding on to like how you feel, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like even when somebody prays, guess what? I have no investment in, I mean, my heart is for people. But when I speak to God on somebody's behalf, I give it to him. Like he does the rest. Like they got to have faith. It's got to be the right situation. I have done my part, which is wholeheartedly pray on their behalf. And I let God give the increase. So I try to step out of the way. That's just my little ministry tip for you today. You know, I think you have everything that it takes to be a great motivator. I think you have everything that it takes to be a motivational leader for women. And I'm going to do this. People have seen you tonight and they see what I see in you. How could they get in contact with you?
So on social media, Instagram is at I am Stephanie Matt, and on Facebook it's just my name, Stephanie Matt. So either on social media, or you can email me at stephanie@simplyputapparel.com.
Everybody in the comments right now, I need y'all to encourage you. And everybody that wants to take it a step further, I need you to go to her Instagram and her Facebook page and just inbox her a real encouraging word. I promise you it'll go a long way. Stephanie, thank you so very much for hanging out with me tonight. It's been really cool. Like we've been meaning to do this, and now it's done, and people would know what I know about you. And I said encourage you, but simplyput.com is the website?
Simplyputapparel.com.
Go get some apparel. Go buy some T-shirts, okay? And you got other stuff on there other than T-shirts too, right?
Yeah, hats and a prayer book that I just released recently on March 26th, which is my birthday. So.
And I got the prayer book already. I'm already a supporter, guys. Be like me. Be a supporter. Simply Put, Stephanie Matt. Again, thank you for your time. Hold what you got, okay? Listen, this is why I do this show. You know, I get a chance to introduce you guys to some amazing people. All I ask that you go support them just like I would. So please take the time. Simply Put Apparel. I am Stephanie Matt on Instagram. Search her on Facebook. Definitely encourage her, as I would ask everybody to do the same for you. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I love what I do. It's Strick City Live, man. Like, this is like super cool. And